I was going to start with like the one word story that we did last meeting that Chloe introduced. But we'll do that maybe towards the end. I have the moth card game here if we want to have some fun prompted things as well. But I want to at least get into um, the main part of the meeting. So let me share my screen. It's PowerPoint. No, it's screen two. This. And we will go through the general body meeting. So this we actually have a ton of really, really, really great updates with this meeting, and um, I will be putting out a pretty big email blast as well for the next meeting, just to try and get more attendance, of course, but we'll actually have some fun news with that as well. So, getting into it, here's our agenda for the day. We've been talking about it for a while, but social media and Notion is we're going to kick off with that. Fantastic. Our improv event is coming up. We'll talk about the March general body meeting. April Story Slam. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but this is like, I really want this to happen. So I'm going to try and push for it as much as possible. Of course, I'm going to constantly remind people that Ju and I are graduating. And so we will need new leadership. So if there's any interest, please reach out. It will be done by club vote, but if there's only like a few people that throw their hats into the ring, then it wouldn't be too hard to figure out. And then we'll end with some open discussions. So social media, it is here. We've done LinkedIn, YouTube, and the YouTube right now we've had for a little bit, but it's been unlisted. We plan to make that a little bit more public and publicized. And then our Notion page. All of this has been heavily worked on by Ju. She put all this together. So please, round of applause for Ju. Thank you so much. I encourage you to go on LinkedIn, like the page, follow the page, share it out, right? We want this to be not just internal for StoryLab members. We want to try and get this out to as many people as possible. So when we share out a student story or some kind of student success or showcase, whatever, it's getting pushed out to a wide audience on LinkedIn so we can promote our students actively. A huge goal of ours. YouTube, similar. It probably won't be, and I like to clarify this because we decided not to go with an Instagram for this reason. We don't want to get bottlenecked on content. We didn't want to have it be months and months. And this was echoed by Lawrence, who heads JHU's social media and kind of overwatches all the clubs and everything like that. He said there's a lot of times where clubs go into it with a strong idea. Maybe they have a strong foundation for social media, but then after a couple of months, it dries up and it turns into like infographics and just little like slideshow posts. And we're trying to avoid that. So the YouTube will be used whenever we have club meeting like this. We're going to try and upload club meetings, but also if we do any kind of storytelling via Zoom or recording, we want to make sure that we get that up onto the YouTube because then we have a shareable link and it's really easy to blast out. The Notion page will be heavily used as like a nice, think of it as like a blogging website for our stories. Any stories you want. It doesn't have to be personal story driven. We would say include a picture if you can. Ju, I don't know. Did we have a word count on that? I don't know if there was one.
We did have a word count.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So yeah, any types of stories, and I check it out. It's not, I think we're still like in the process of building it and getting some stories on there. But again, another great platform for us to be able to share out and have a nice collection of like a little portfolio of what our students can do. And I think this will be a good foundation for going forward as the club continues to take off. Improv event. I've talked about it. It is live. It's 100% live now. I don't know why that kind of cut off on the bottom there. You can register for it on Hopkins groups. It is in person only for this because it's going to be interactive. It's same as the Moth event. There's going to be 50 tickets available. So if you plan on going, if you're going to be in DC at the campus that weekend, that Friday, please make sure you get your ticket early. There will be a wait list set up. So if you have to refund your ticket, more than welcome to. This is going to be a really, really fun event. We've talked with the instructors a couple of times now, and they've promised us it's going to be entry level, just really fun games, but stuff to get our minds going and just get a little bit more into the improv spirit. March general body meeting. Oh my goodness, why did this? Hold on, that's gonna bother me. There we go. Slightly fixed. The March general body meeting. So we actually, Dr. Sherry has secured one of the lecturers from Johns Hopkins, Trevor Setvin, and he's going to take us through a 40-minute, she said 40-ish minute, because that way we can do some club news as well. But 40-ish minute activity, this like a little workshop. So it's going to be storytelling as a form of play. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what to expect here. I scoped out his LinkedIn just because I've never heard of him before, and I was like, okay, like this sounds fun. So I saw that he was a lecturer at Johns Hopkins in AAP. He's also a lecturer at Stony Brook University, which is something that I've said. I think in the very first general body meeting is a school that I wanted to connect with at some point because they have a really great communication program up there. It's going to be definitely very, very experiential. So this is going to be super fun, and I would definitely emphasize trying to get the March general body meeting out to as many people as possible across the club. If you know anyone in your programs that might want to just come and join, obviously it's no pressure whatsoever. I did update the March general body meeting to um, reflect the new title, so it'll be called Storytelling as a Form of Play dash StoryLab March general body meeting. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, I scoped out his LinkedIn, and he looked like a really fun person. So we'll see how it goes. Uh, Going on to the April Story Slam. This is something that we're all going to have to build out together. So first off, I want it to be in April, just kind of near the end of the semester. I realistically, I want to be real about this. I would love it to be on a weekend. This is personal. It doesn't have to be. I would love it to be on a weekend. That way we can get maybe a better showing of audience members, because I want people to come and show up and watch us perform. This is meant to be a student showcase. I was thinking late April. That way it's just a nice end of the year, end of the semester event. It'll be probably one of the last things that we do for the semester, outside of maybe the last general body meeting. If you're interested, and so this is where I need to kind of just make sure I want to have a good showing of students ready to prepare, like prepared and ready to tell stories. So if you have any type of interest whatsoever, just let me know. You don't have to have the story written right now, but start working through it. The format will either be completely virtual, possibly hybrid. So I'll be in DC for the event on the 27th, the improv event. And so while I'm there, I'm going to try and scope out different areas in the building where we might be able to get like a little bit of a stage. I know Dr. Sherry has talked about the auditorium, but there's a big caveat with that, that if we use the auditorium, I think we have to fill like half the seats or something like that. Otherwise, it's not, they don't want to staff it. Now, excitingly, I was just on a call with Amy, who's the executive director of Story District this morning. And she said that if we're doing this, probably late March, early April, she would be willing to do a kind of story refinement workshop. And this will be much more in depth than what we did with the Moth. So this will be very, very direct. You will get direct feedback, direct questions. It is meant to really refine a story that's already written out. So I don't want to. She's a very busy person, so I don't want to suggest that we do the workshop and have on the books without having like a preformed list of students that can make it. It's not going to go through Hopkins Group. This is going to be completely independent. I'm not going to bother putting it up. This will just be, okay, we have a list of 6 or 7 students that have stories ready to go, and we want to refine it before our story slam. She's more than willing to work with us on that. I have a link to her website, the Story District website there. They also, similar to the Moth, they have podcasts. They have live storytelling events in DC, and they have workshops, educational workshops. So it's just another fantastic resource. While I was on the call with this morning, again, we're talking through this live storytelling. there are going to be some additional opportunities for Story District. And they have upcoming events in May and June, and I'm pretty sure these were the themes for it. So the one was Freaks and Geeks, and the other was Hot Mess. I don't remember which one was in which month. But this is meant to be like lives, like they'll sell tickets for this, and it'll be a live stage performance. You'll be up there with other professional storytellers. So if you have a story that fits into one of those categories and you want to pitch it to Amy, let me know. I'll get you in touch with her. I would say that she's probably going to be looking for pretty polished stories with this. It's not really like the open hat style of a story slam from the Moth. It'll probably be more tailored towards like their main stage type performances where it'll be a really well thought out story. It'll have, you know, all the emotional hooks that it's supposed to. It'll follow the structure. It'll have some kind of stakes in there. So again, not to overly stress it, but if you have an idea for something like that, let me know. More than happy to connect you across. And finally, to end on it, I want to just continually bring this up because it is very, very pressing and very, very important for the survival of this club. We will need new leadership. So again, we're graduating. Ju and I are graduating in May. We want to see StoryLab continue. We want to see StoryLab grow. There's a lot of things that we've talked with both the club and Dr. Sherry about. You know, one being the idea of working with organizations and doing storytelling for organizations. And I know one of the focuses from the last general body meeting that we're going to work on getting in is doing more corporate storytelling. That will probably be, since the March general body meeting is kind of tied up with that, using storytelling as play, we'll probably do something more corporate aspect for the final April general body meeting. So because there are a couple of different documentations that have to be put in place for the fall club renewal. And it's nothing that we don't already have documented. We just want to make sure that it gets into your hands, right? So we have to have agendas, I think agendas and like a minutes or something like that for all of our club meetings, which we've been recording and taking notes on. So we have it. I think you have to show proof that you've upheld the certain amount of club activities or club events each semester, which we've done. And so we want to just make sure that the people in place are able to receive that documentation and are able to renew the club without any kind of hassle or issue. The formal club vote for this will take place during the April general body meeting. It'll probably be one of the first things that we do, depending on interest. Otherwise, I'm going to have to petition Dr. Sherry to start reaching out to people. So if you're interested at all, please just reach out, let us know, and we'll go from there. All right.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, Melissa.
And I just wanted to plug the idea that you're sharing, and if you, I know that a couple of you said that you specifically can't do it, but that means we're looking at the rest of you. And it's up to you if you want to be able to continue these types of programs. There's money available for support, and like if you think about what we've been able to enjoy and benefit from this semester, and I know that Matt and Ju could talk about what's involved. Maybe they'd be willing to chat with you if you're considering the possibility. But this is a great resume building experience. It's a great leadership experience. And I think that, and like, even if you do it in a pair, then it's half the work. So I'd encourage you, if you're like a little bit raising your hand, or maybe at least not raising your hand, that you might consider, is this something you're open to stepping into so that you can continue to be a part of this group and so this group can continue?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, there's a lot of great things that we can do with this club. Honestly speaking, the more we talk with different faculty members, everybody is so excited about the stuff that we're doing here at StoryLab. I've heard feedback from so many different people that they love the initiatives that we're taking. So it's why I put such a heavy stress on it. Like that really is super important to me. We have a really great foundation going. We've already made some great partnerships with local organizations, or storytelling organizations in general. We're able to secure guest speakers and do these types of workshops that's just going to enhance everybody's everybody's skills and abilities and just make you a more well-rounded professional. So we want to continue that. Jill.
Hello, everybody. Um, so I this is recent news to me, and I just wanted to make everybody aware because it's HopComNet. I'm the president of HopComNet. We're having a lot of the same discussions in our club about recruitment for people because my entire board is graduating before the fall, which like happy for us all, but also sad because it means that we won't have the same you know, gentle handoff between people, you know. But from my understanding, what the student engagement office is wanting to do for this year and moving forward is to have an election-based system. So in the past, we've had like, you know, niche recruitment. We're hoping that elections make it easier to sustain the clubs long term. That way, if there are students who you know, weren't as familiar about the club, but are new and want to, you know, get involved, then there isn't an expectation that they had to have known the previous people to be a part of a club. Emma, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say because I feel like everyone might be like involuntarily looking at me because I know that like I've been like very active and involved in this club, but like I'm kind of like Chloe because I'm very torn because as much as like I love StoryLab, I also have to be honest about like the commitments that I have coming up into the academic year, like internships, freelancing. I have a residency that I have to do, a writing workshop that I have coming up. So like as much as I would love to be like a further part of the club, I also just like I just genuinely do not have the time to commit to leadership right now of the club. But like definitely, if we're looking to find more people to possibly like you know step up for election, like again, at least for me, like for the science writing program, I am more than happy to keep advertising the club. I know I think we do have a science writing student, another one in the club already, but you know, if there's anything that also I can do to help advertise it and maybe get more people interested and involved, I'm more than happy to do so, even while still remaining an active member in the club, because we'll miss all of you who are graduating. So just want to put that out there.
Something too that we I think we talked about very early on was the idea of having additional leadership roles within the club. We kept it very limited to just president, vice president while we were setting it up, but that doesn't mean that the leadership can't be spread out amongst 3 to 4 people if that makes it easier and less burdensome on people taking on a leadership role. That would have to be discussed, of course, by like the new leadership on what those roles look like, as well as who is responsible for what. But more people can shoulder burdens if that's the case. I don't want to. I only say that just to keep it as a reminder because it's it's the end of February, but I have a feeling the semester is going to go by really fast, and I just don't want people to be unprepared when April hits. Um, Now I wanted to answer. I just opened up the chat. I was reading through everything. As far as the specific format for the story slam time limit, I'm probably thinking like uh similar to the moth where it's like a 5 minute story somewhere around that time frame. I don't think there's going to be a theme just because it'll be more of a student showcase than an actual put together like thematic show. But I'm really open to discussing that out and seeing what that looks like. Um, if we maybe we all submit stories and they're all similar themes, then great, we'll make it thematic. I'm not worried about that. But um, if we need to do again, I have the if we want to run through this at some point, if we have interest, but you're like, I don't really know what I want to write about, or I don't know, I want to do it. That's fine. Like I said, we have this beautiful moth storytelling game. Look at all these different prompts we can do. There's literally what feels like hundreds here. So we can easily work on that. And we can start making it a little bit more structured as far as like getting together and having actual sit downs where we're discussing our stories and then giving each other reflective feedback, similar to what we did with the moth workshop. Chloe.
Just kudos again on putting that together. Matt, Jude, Sherry, I think it was the three of you. I mean, that was such a wonderful experience. Thank you. Um, so with the moth, I'm wondering if there's gonna be more flexibility here because with the moth, there's not always flexibility, and they're very like, no slam poetry, no rhyming, no like in certain markets, they're like, no, no, no. If I wanted to sing part of it, would you be open to that, or do we want to stick to just speaking?
Oh no, I'm completely open to it. I'm not looking to do it so much as like a moth story slam. Like no one's gonna get graded for their performance, right? We're not gonna have judges in the audience. It's meant to be an entry level way for people to express themselves and be in front of an audience and just be able to tell a story. If there's some singing or some sort of theatrics behind it, by all means, it's part of your story. I want to see it. I want to see it come to life. Um, it's our first one, and I would love it to be something that like happens annually, right? Like every year, StoryLab puts on a story slam, and then it goes and extends. And like the invitation for this, by the way, is outside of the club too. This isn't restricted to club members. So if you know people that are in your programs that have written something like or would like that kind of experience, I really want to invite them in and just say like, let's do it. Here, we're going to do a couple of get-togethers on these days. We'll see what that looks like. I wish Valerie was on the call because I know she had expressed something similar. But she'll see the newsletter, I hope. But yeah, I want to pull everyone in together and just have a really fun time. So yeah, no limitations as far as that goes.
Listen, if we're open to singing, if you want me to sing for like the whole musical theater canon, I can do that. I can have a set list prepared, okay? So if you want me to, I can do that, okay?
I just heard Emma say that she volunteered to sing the entire opener for everybody. And then more so, right? Like, okay, perfect.
I
We'll have
think it's
two.
going to be a one-man Wicked show, is what I'm hearing.
Or Newsies. Newsies is the first one. So it might be that, but we can do Wicked after. Like it'll be what, like 5 hours? Like we have time. That's fine. And that works. I'm gonna write down my calendar.
I thought this was StoryLab, not karaoke club.
Emma, just so you know, my cousin in real life is Dina Menzel, was like the original alphabet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But and so just a little side thing, but Matt, can you explain something? Because I missed the conversation with, I'm sorry, I teach until like I didn't get home until like 6 o'clock, right? I taught all day from 11 to 6. So I'm just trying to think like with working with Story District. I actually gave Amy a tour. Actually, Peter Huggins, who's the event manager, gave the both of us a tour of all the possible spaces. Is this story slam or is it just a story refinement that's going to that she would help with that piece, or would she actually help set up a story slam? And how can we get around groups, Hopkins groups, without like talking to Christina? This is like my thing, musical theater storytelling. It is.
So potentially both. I didn't go when I was talking to her this morning. I didn't go to. I said I'm going to be in DC on 27th. I want to scope out some locations, but I knew what our previous conversation was with that auditorium, how we had to fill so many seats. I think she would definitely be willing to help out with that in some format, like putting on a show. But I don't know what that looks like from like a ticket standpoint, because I know you said a majority of the audience would have to be students, right, or faculty or something JHU aligned.
Yes, yeah,
So-
and like I saw a lot of spaces. Peter showed us a lot of spaces that are really lovely. Up I think I want to say on the ninth floor, that are perfect, and so we wouldn't be under pressure to get. We'd have to really get like about 200 people to do a story slam. I don't see that happening in the auditorium, but there are some really nice spaces, and the problem is that with Peter, he gets so busy with the AAP graduation ceremony that when I said to him, "Oh yeah, that would be great to do at the end of the year," and he said, "Wait, Shari, what do you mean the end of the year?" And I'm like, "Well, Obviously not in April or May, Peter, because I know you have, so I don't know if he'd help us so much, but at least, we can reserve space through 25 Live. That's not a problem in terms of getting space. Even
Okay.
the space that we had for for Israel Igualati wasn't bad. And Jill was there, Drew was there. I'm trying to think, some people online. But I just like I'm just trying to think about how it sounds like this is a workaround from Hopkins groups, and can we like and maybe Jill, you also know, can we do events without going through the bureaucracy that is Hopkins groups?
Oh, no, no. So like the story slam itself would definitely go through Hopkins groups. That's
Okay.
that would 100%. But
Okay.
the workshop with Amy, I would probably skirt around it, and
Okay,
because
got
that
it.
would just be selected, people that were just submitting stories rather than opening up to the entire AAP.
Okay, okay. I mean, we could select an outside venue. There's Penn Social right up the street. Amy does events there all the time. The last time we did an event there with what was GSCO, which is now HopComNet, the students forgot their ID cards and just like we couldn't hold the event because you need ID card to get in because they serve beer and alcohol. That's the tricky part. But I think we could do something with some nice space on campus. I can't involve Peter too much, but I definitely can think of some really nice spaces that Amy and I saw. And would we have to like I'm just like thinking in terms of collaboration, would we have to like pay Amy to help with? I'm just like that's something that you and I can discuss. I'm just not sure if there's any financial exchange in this.
Just as of right now, no, because I'm also doing like volunteer work for Story District, so I
Right.
didn't know if it was kind of like a nice trade up. But like I only briefly mentioned to her this morning, so we
Yeah.
could definitely get clarification on that.
We could, okay, last thing, and then I'm going to change the subject. I'm sorry. So the last thing is like we could have an event at Hopkins that not only combines our students as storytellers, but the people in her classes at Story District and some of the really top storytellers. So it could be a combined event of because I'm not sure we're going to get as many storytellers as we think we're going to get, especially at the end of the year when people are in a crunch. So I'm thinking that we have her storytellers come. They can charge tickets. She does that through another mechanism, and we'd have to figure out how to check them in. We can't charge our students tickets, but I could see like a combined event with her organization and StoryLab as being a really viable way. And that way she can maybe get some ticket revenues and then also use it as our space for free so we kind of have a combined event. I kind of like that idea. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I would just have to talk to her about because I know she has shows coming up
Great.
in both March and April and some other stuff. So she might not be able to fully commit to a show, but the workshop at the very
Okay.
least.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks. Okay. So sorry, I felt like I side railed that into Amy
No.
discussion, but there is plenty of spaces besides the auditorium, so not to worry about that.
Okay. Emma.
Yeah, I was just going to add what I mentioned in the chat, like for the science writing program and the writing program, when they do the thesis reading, so it's kind of similar to storytelling, where basically like it will be all the students who are graduating and they each take turns reading like a selection from their thesis. So it's kind of similar to like telling a story. So what they do is they will create like I think this is for many of the Hopkins events, like the webinars, is they have an Eventbrite page and then like anyone can go on that page and like the tickets are free basically, but like either you say you're a student, you're a faculty, or you're not affiliated with Johns Hopkins, and then anyone can just buy a ticket. And then the way that they do it is I think they host like a Zoom webinar. So it's not like something where like everyone clicks a link and enters, but it's like a webinar. So I think there's something on like the back end where the people hosting and the people speaking are in a Zoom meeting, but then everyone else is just like watching it as a video. So I don't know if like that would make it easier for more people to attend, but at least I know that's like how they've done it. And then like everyone speaks, and then even though like attendees can't like speak, obviously, like they write in the chat and support each other. So it's like it kind of like I think helps take away like the element of so many like heads in the room and all the different screens where it's just like people are just kind of like watching the event. So I don't know like the technical specificities of that, but at least I know like that's how they do it. And that's been working so far every semester the way they do it.
Melissa?
Yes. I also, when you're talking about having 80 people capacity, I'm not really sure how many people are going to come to the event, but I'm wondering if there could be some flexibility or room choice that's at all related to how many people there actually are. Because when you think about the dynamics of hosting an event and telling stories, if you have 10 people in an 80-person room, the room falls flat because people, there's too much space. But if it's, so like, ideally we get the right size space for the number of people that where people are close to each other and making eye contact and engaging with each other to help, and that helps build the experience. And so I guess I just wanted to mention that as we're talking about these large capacities and compared to the number of people showing up at the Moth event, or although I didn't make it to the Israel in person event, so maybe that was bigger, I'm not sure.
The only issue with that is that we have to reserve the room like pretty far in advance. So it's possible maybe for like a because even with some of the stuff where we've reserved a room, there's like a last minute swap. So there's a possibility of that, like if we notice that we're not getting the tickets in time. But I think that would be a bit of a hassle, unfortunately. But we'll play it out and see how it goes. I at first the first thing with that at like just to start is to get a date set of when everyone would be willing to participate and make sure that it kind of fits in everybody's schedule. Like I said, um, I just felt like weekend would be easier to prepare into rather than like something during the week. But open to ideas with that as well. I'm not gonna stick hard to it just a weekend. Okay. Are there is there anything else that someone would want to bring up or talk about related to StoryLab or stories? Anything you got going on? If not, um, I know, Jill, I just sent you the link for that earlier, but I was thinking we can do another one word story similar to what we did last time so we can get another and just so everyone's understands and is comfortable. I'm recording this, and it would be used as a an advertisement for the improv event, just to kind of showcase what an entry level improv game would be like, and try to encourage other students. So, if anyone's uncomfortable with that, let me know. We just won't have you. We won't have you speak.
Only if it goes well.
Well, in all honesty, I'm kind of hoping that it's a little shaky, just so students are like, oh, they messed up too. I can mess up. Yeah, this doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. All right. Is there anyone that does not want to be included? So what I'll do kind of similar to how we did last time, where we made a list of names in the chat, and that way we know the order. All right. All right. I'll skip. Um, Dr. Sher, did you want me to include you, or do you want me to skip you just because you have to go soon?
I have to jump into my intro to screenwriting class, which is also coincidentally like at 7. So
Okay.
yeah, so I just like be an observer, and then you might see me at some point dropping off. So everybody, goodbye. I adore all of you. This is the energy in this Zoom space, and with all of you. I'm just so I couldn't be more delighted. So I was really happy with the Moss session, and thank you, to all of you for contributing, and Matt and Drew, you just are knocking out the ballpark, and And so I just hope, oh, last thoughts. Like the leadership does worry me because I'll still be here, but Matt and Julie. So like even like talk to, and the problem is that the communication program, I don't know about you guys, like Emma and Yvonne and Chloe, like our program, like you can finish in a year. So the people who started in September, ostensibly they done if they do one semester overload, they're finished in August. So I'm just like afraid we might have to think about also if none of the current members, like, do we like do recruitment in the fall in worst case scenario? And I have to check with Christina about that. So stay tuned and you guys have fun. I'm gonna just like, I will just be here for now. I'm gonna put my
Yeah.
shut off my video and just have a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what you do.
I'm scheduling a meeting with Miss Goldstein to talk about elections some more. So once I have some information, I can CC or send both of you an email.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Evan, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello to everybody. My name is Evan, and for this one word story sounds awesome. It's just my first time hearing about it. I
Yeah.
would just like to observe for this first round and see how it goes, and I'd appreciate that.
Not a problem. Yeah, not a problem at all.
I nominate Evan for president for next semester.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah. I was curious, are there instructions or you haven't given them yet? Because I wasn't sure for the improv game.
I haven't given them yet. So what I'll do first is I'll post the names in oh, I shouldn't write me, I should write Matt. So to go in that order. So for one word story, what I'll do is I don't know, did we throw out a theme last time? Chloe, I forget. I think we just kind of went with it.
I think it was a car. It was car, if I remember correctly.
Car. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do a one word suggestion, which will just be one random word, and one at a time. Following that list, we'll each say one word. So everyone just come off of mute. It'll just make it easier and quicker. And then we'll go until we have what we think is a story. I don't know. We'll see how long it goes for. And if it gets derailed, it gets derailed. There's no pressure here. Please know that there's no pressure here. So the word will be ocean.
Ocean.
So do we need a starting word or is that our theme?
That's our theme. So you start with whatever word you want to start your sentence with, and we'll see how it goes.
Once.
There.
Was.
A.
Ocean.
Bis.
Ocean.
Was.
A.
Oh, is this me? I'm trying to keep up with Sorry, everyone's okay, once upon a time there was an ocean. That ocean ate
My.
Money.
Yesterday.
I
Went.
Into.
the
Water.
And
Frank.
all of it. All.
Of.
My.
ocean. Is it me?
Sure is.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was so excited. I figured out how to organize all the squares so that I could like see it, and I was typing in the chat that like, oh, tip, you can organize the squares so you know what's going on.
Good idea. Okay.
I
Yeah.
drink all the water. Okay.
Emma, you're getting pinned, so I know when you're talking.
Okay.
As a side
Feeling.
note. Okay.
full.
Of.
Water.
Or
Money.
I
Lifted.
Mm. Myself?
Off.
The
seafloor.
And
came
Up.
Two.
The
duck.
Then
I
regurgitated
All.
Of.
that.
Water.
why do I keep getting all of the filler words?
Okay, we'll see there. We'll do one more. Evan, do you want to join in? All right, so Evan, we'll just talk. You come right after. I'll just type your name in the chat. You'll come right after me, right at the end there. And we'll do a brand new. So erase that from your memory. It's gone. Scene's over with. Our new word is marshmallow.
I.
All right. Well then. Can I use marshmallow as the starting word and say fluff?
Yeah. Okay. So marshmallow.
Fluff.
eats.
thumb
Air.
What was that again? Marshmallow, fluff, what again?
Eat some air.
Eat some air. Oh. And two.
The
Crust.
Thrust or crust?
Crust. And then Evan will go after me now.
Crust.
And if it for clarification, if that seems like the end of a sentence, you can start a whole new sentence. Don't feel that you need to just attach a word.
Okay. Reminded
Me.
Of
my
Hunger.
That.
destroyed.
My.
s'mores.
I was thinking of Nutella. Oh my God. Okay. So
I
had
A.
Cup.
Of
Noodles.
That
did not or didn't.
taste.
very
Good.
And
then
I.
went
Swimming.
Outside.
in
Oceanic.
water.
made
Everyone.
think
About.
Money.
that
Was
My.
time
On.
the
Sand.
Podcast.
um wherein
I.
What again? Wearing?
Wherein.
wherein
Oh, wearing
something.
I. Wearing like I don't get it.
Wherein.
Yeah.
Oh, wearing. Oh, I
in
thought it
which
was
whatever
wearing.
word.
Okay. I went
Down.
The
Crooked
Slide.
And
Got
Swallowed.
by
Jellyfish.
Oh
perfect. Stop there.
the
All right.
end.
Oh.
One more, and let's do this. This is something that I've done, and it makes a little bit more sense. When it gets to you, and we'll do it a little bit longer. When it gets to you, if you think it's the end of a sentence, instead of adding another word, just say the like say the end of the sentence, say period, exclamation, like whatever,
Okay.
just to
Okay.
show the full stop at the end.
And then another word.
And then no, you'll full stop it, and then the next person will pick up with the sentence. So like if you full stop a sentence, that is your turn, and then it'll just go to the next person. It'll take a little bit longer to get through, but I think it'll make a little bit more of a cohesive sentence.
Wait, you're saying our punctuation is the
Punctuation.
term?
Yes. Yeah, so if it gets to you, and that way you don't have to like think about punctuating and then starting the next sentence. It's just you're stopping the sentence there. So now you have a
To
choice.
the next person.
Yeah, so now you have a choice because you can either stop the sentence or you can say and or but and keep the sentence going, right? So now you have options. So we'll start our new word. We're all starving right now. Rice.
Do we want to start with a different person so that Yvonne has a better opportunity to
Get
Yeah.
real words.
be caught in the action?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, what kind of rice are we talking about?
That's up to whoever.
Jude, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Sorry, stick to that order, but we'll just start with Jew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make it easy.
Yesterday.
Pigs.
Yesterday, pigs, you said? Okay. 8.
many
Rice.
bottles.
And
Then
Some
Of.
Them.
reacted
Poorly.
In
my
muddy.
and
Everyone.
Laughed.
end of sentence.
Therefore,
I
had
A.
feeling
The
Stove
was
moving.
violently
Around.
my
House.
period.
studies
cannot.
Demonstrate.
how
This.
might
Phenomenologically.
Happened.
end of sentence.
God!
I
Discovered.
that
Anything.
can
Happen.
Especially.
When
hungry.
Kitchens.
get
Involved.
period.
Perfect. That was great. That was great. Congratulations, everyone. We
Third
had a
time's the
successful-
charm.
Third time's the charm. Listen, there's never any pressure. You all did wonderfully. We'll have again, next workshop will be a whole new fun adventure with I want to make sure I say his name right. Trevor Setvin. Yeah. With that, is there anything else? Any last minute thoughts? Otherwise, we'll end on that. That was a fantastic session.
Just in the chat, real quick, a few of us were talking about time for like date and time for the slam. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it may make your job easier.
Yeah.
Sunday evenings maybe looked like the most, at least for those of us who were involved in that chat. So
perfect. Then we'll look at April.
Thank you, Chloe.
Yeah, so we'll do it. We'll do a tentative 18th or 25th. We'll have to feel this out depending on what coursework and scheduling looks like.
wait, sorry, that's Saturday. Those are Saturdays.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
19th or 26th. Yeah.
Great.
No, that's just me not being able to read a calendar. I'm not going to disguise it. I've been having a lot of trouble recently with numbers. No. So 19th or 26th. And we'll try and realistically look at your course schedules and your courseworks to see what's going to fall on those dates. If both weekends it looks overloaded, because I know it's getting towards the end of the semester with the 11th. I think the 11th is May 11th is the last day. So just keep that in mind. Don't commit something that's later on down the road it becomes stressful. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be realistic. But yeah, again, if you're interested, please reach out, submit. It doesn't have to be a full story. Just submit your interest so I can start making a list of who would be willing to tell a story. And then we'll get a roster going. If we go over, I would say realistically, if we go over 10 people, we'll probably limit it. It will be StoryLab members first, and then anyone else that's outside the club that wanted to participate. That's how I'll do the selection process. 9 because I will be participating, so there'll be 9 other spots, right? I think that would be a healthy number, and then we'll go from there.
Matt, just a quick question. Will there be a form, a Google form where we have to submit, or do we just email you directly, or I don't know how formal or informal?
No, it could be super informal. You could let me know via Slack, via email, however, and I'm gonna make a list and just have it on the side, and then I'll check back in to see where everyone's at and make sure, and we'll figure out dates and stuff like that. And then the issue will be Hawkins groups trying to figure out how to get it scheduled, because I would like to have outside people from outside AAP come to the event and be able to observe or view it. I think that's easy enough of just submitting, if we're doing it virtually, submitting a Zoom link and just sending it to whoever you want to invite. That'd be fine. If it's hybrid, in person would be different, because then you have to get clearances from security for having outside JHU people at events. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but just as a forewarning.
And just in the chat also, it looks so Melissa, Emma, me, Yvonne Yvonne's gonna just show up because Yvonne's gonna be supportive, even though Yvonne is an amazing storyteller, which I just wanted to brag on you. But so there are 3 of us so far.
Okay, perfect. I'm making note of that right now.
I'm tentatively interested, but it means I'm obligated to write a story, and as much as it's cool and fun, it's also scary for me. So
Jill just said that she's definitely interested and is going to commit. That's what I heard.
I want to invite that. I heard you definitely need to write a story, and I think we need to tell stories. And if we learned anything at the Moth workshop recently, it's that we have a lot of stories within us already.
Yes,
and there's an invitation to
it would be
craft and
It would
play
be
with the
really
story.
funny if I just happened to be standing on the stage and then somebody asked me a random question that ended up becoming a story. That would be
That would be.
quite coincidental.
Oh, oh my goodness, I forgot too. And if anyone has an improv related story that they would like to tell,
Nice.
250 to 750 words, roundabout. I have some guided prompts for it. We want to send something out in the March newsletter, both in the HopComNet March newsletter as well as StoryLabs. So if you have anything like that, please let me know, and that way we can get it out there for everybody. If
Yeah.
not, I'll end up writing one.
So for a lot of our in-person students, they're actually not at all aware of what improv is, or if they are aware, they might have an impression that it's like a whose line is it anyway, which is, professional improv, not like I'm a beginner and I don't want to be on a stage. So if anybody has a story that kind of talks about your experience as a normal person who enjoys improv and like maybe were reluctant about it at first yourself, and then, realize that it was fun and was fulfilling enough for you to keep coming back. That's what we want. We want basically to market to students who might be reluctant to come to say, actually, you're going to have the best freaking time ever.
Yeah. Awesome. Let that roll around your heads. Please feel free to reach out. I really do appreciate everyone joining these calls and meeting once a month. Well, and for the events too. Your time is precious, and I do really appreciate that you come here. Everyone have a wonderful night, a great weekend. Please relax, don't stress. I'm saying that more for me than I am for you, but I hope you also don't stress.
Go give your raccoon a hug.
I'm gonna give him a treat at least. Some strawberries, maybe a little pizza, maybe a little trash. We'll see how it goes. All right. Everyone
Trash
have
panda.
a wonderful night. Please.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.